What is good, everyone? Welcome back to another video. And today, we're going to talk about that Champions League final. I know it's been basically over a day since that game happened, but I have to talk about the game. I did say that this game would be a close game, a tight game, and it was. It went to penalties in the end. My prediction, the team I said will win, won the game. PSG, but it wasn't easy for PSG. Everyone's gonna cook Arsenal, saying Arsenal played this terroristic football. No low possession, terroristic football. But I'm like, when you're coming up against the best team in Europe, I don't blame Arteta for doing this. I don't. I really don't. And to be honest, they actually played pretty well. If you watch the game with your eyes and not just look at stats, I actually would say Arsenal did pretty well. They performed well. And the first half, PSG didn't give them any threats, any scare. It was pretty simple defensively for Arsenal. So yeah, the first half was relatively, obviously the Havertz goal happened. Then after that, it was Arsenal defending, staying strong. PSG having no ideas or lacking ideas in what to do, how they're going to break this Arsenal side. They had no ideas. Then went to halftime, 1-0. Arsenal looked comfortable defensively. Looked like they can go through this all day. And it was going like how I said, it was going how we expected it to go. Arsenal still staying strong as the second half gone on. But, they gave away a penalty. And it was a penalty in my opinion, of course. PSG made a good play. I think it was Vitinha and Kvara. But Kvara is definitely involved in the penalty. He created that penalty himself. And yeah, the penalties created, that was basically PSG's, first clear chance and goal, basically. And Dembele finishes it. The Ballon d'Or winner. Ballon d'Or Dembele finished the chance. As the game went by, after the goal, PSG started to look more lively. More chances were actually created now from PSG. When they subbed on Barcola had two clear chances, bro. Two clear chances. One of them was he overkicked it. He had his second touch is what ruined the chance. And the next one, basically similar thing, but his finishing, both times finishing was, I think Barcola is one of those players is if he's on your team, he's frustrating to watch because he can do all the good things and he won't finish. He's basically I've always said this, but he reminds me of Vini in 2020, 2019, where the dribbling and all that, it looks nice. He's gonna cook with that. But up to finishing at the chance he created, he flops in the end. He lacks that final decision making. Because to be honest, if he fixed that, he's a great player, Barcola. But yeah. And then, Dembele scored the penalty. Barcola had plenty of chance to score. He didn't score. And, the game ended 1-1. Extra time. Extra time was both teams didn't really want to concede. They didn't want to be the villain in extra time. So they both just played safe in extra time. Then penalties happened. Penalty shootouts. PSG players, all of them scored except Nuno Mendes and except I think was he only Nuno Mendes? I think it was only Nuno Mendes. Yeah, it was only Nuno Mendes that missed. And Nuno Mendes' penalties have been, you know, strong. He's been good at penalties, and he's the one that missed. I know PSG fans. The moment Nuno missed that penalty, they were scared, bro. They were like, fuck. Because he's really good at penalties, and he's the one that missed. It reminds you of like the Champions League game against Man City that went to penalties in 2024, the 23-24 season, when Modric was the first penalty taker and he missed. Oh my days. The whole Madrid fan base was like, oh no, it could be over. It could be over. But in the end, we won that game. Luckily, Lunin was a hero. But anyways, the plays went on. PSG players, Ramos. Who else took the plays? Ramos, Mendes missed. Ramos scored. Doué scored. Berlardo scored. Is there one more? Okay, and Gonzalo Ramos. Those are the penalties for PSG. And in Arsenal, 2 people missed the penalties. Let it all work out. Missed the penalty, bro. Missed that penalty, bro. He flopped in the big moment. That technique is such a rage bait, bro. It's such a rage bait. What is that technique, man? Just run properly and smash the ball. That's what probably almost every football fan is thinking the moment he did that. And his penalty cost him, bro. Low-key his fault. At least, if you're going to miss or get saved, at least kick the ball properly, man. And then Gyökeres, clinical finish, penalty spot from him. Martinelli, great penalty. Great penalty. Who else took the penalties? Declan Rice. Of course, he took a penalty, decent penalty from him. But Eze, that penalty was disgraceful. And Gabriel, that penalty, bro. Oh my days. I actually respect him for having the balls to take that penalty. For being a leader to take that penalty. But he's a defender. And there's still a forward out there. There still was an attacker in that pitch that didn't take that penalty. And Madueke is the man. How is Gabriel take the penalty before you are? Is a mystery we will never figure out. But yeah, Gabriel took it, missed it, and PSG are champions. Just like that. It's a heartbreak for Arsenal fans. But I don't think they should be too heartbroken. It hurts because, Champions League, trust me is that. Different gravy. Once you win that, trust me, Arsenal fans are going to be in a different land, bro. But, yeah, it's unfortunate for them. But they won the league, so it's not too doom and gloom for Arsenal fans. They still celebrate the league. But yeah, that's my thoughts about the Champions League final yesterday. Performances, Kvara being Champions League player of the season, deserved. What a player. Goulier, for us, being the young player of the season. I'm going to be shameless. I'm going to say he deserves it. He deserves it, bro. Viva Goulier. We are shameless. But anyways, that's it for the video. And yeah, there'll be a video coming up this week. And it'll be an exciting video. See you then.